DBL Nation, and welcome to the break room.
Hi.
What's up?
This is Kelly.
Hi.
And I'm the marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I'm worried I'm going to look like that with my hair, but I think it's going to be cute.
I think it's going to be cute. I haven't seen that show, but from what I've heard, it's incredible.
I haven't either, but she talks like this and then says, what do you know?
Well, then I think it fits.
Okay,
I think
cool.
it's a good thing, and people love that show. So
sounds good.
Let's just go with it.
Okay.
So it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Woohoo!
A lot of you may have the day off. If you do, let us know what you're doing. Let us know what you're doing to honor Martin Luther King. I have my favorite quote here I wanted to read to you guys. So here's my favorite. Those who are not looking for happiness are the most likely to find it, because those who are searching forget that the surest way to be happy is to seek happiness for others. And that's the way I try to live my life every day.
Wow.
I love making people happy. Making people happy makes me happy.
I think that's
and then everyone's happy.
I think that's a very Kelly quote.
What's yours?
Mine is this. Morality cannot be legislated, but behavior can be regulated. Judicial decrees may not change the heart, but they can restrain the heartless.
Ooh, that is such a Tory one. That's
know.
really good. I really like that quote. And it's not one you hear often.
You never really hear that
No,
one.
I like it though.
But man, is there
so
some
true.
good ones. Every year at my school, we would do an MLK assembly. We would have someone play MLK, and we would do scenes from his life. If you don't know a lot about him, one of probably the bravest, most patriotic Americans that ever walked the face of this earth.
Oh,
ever.
Yeah. Yep.
Non-violent resistance movement man that in the steps of Gandhi believed that only in the 60s that I could drink out of a water fountain and I could fight for that right without resorting to violence. That's an incredibly patient thing to do. Someone's spitting at you. Someone has dogs, German shepherds, water on you.
I can't
and
imagine.
you stay in your place. I can't tell you how Buddhist that is or and
Zen.
hard that is.
Yep.
So at some point they did training, nonviolent training, where they would splash coffee and pies
Really?
and all
You did
that.
that at school?
No, I didn't. This is what the Freedom
I thought
Riders
you meant
did.
you did it at
Because,
school.
no, the idea is to train yourself not to react.
To be able to not,
It's
to be able to stay calm. That's insane.
Incredibly hard thing to do. There's a moment
feat,
in To Kill a Mockingbird where something happens with Atticus, and he says the idea of nonviolent, and he says even if they're spitting in your face, and it's like this is that man.
This is.
We need him more than ever
right now.
Yes.
I know. I find it really fitting that we're in a government shutdown. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I think it's pretty crazy. I think we all need to like take a second and think about that and think about what really matters and go on with our day like that.
And remember, Martin Luther King Jr. was also very involved in politics. He signed the Civil Rights Act. Well, he didn't sign it, but he was standing right next to LBJ when he signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. He marched into the Lincoln Memorial. So we also are talking about the march that you guys all saw. I'm sure it went very viral. But we're giving a full story. We don't want to give you guys just the headlines. There's more to the story than you guys think. If you just saw the headlines, it looked awful. But we want to give you guys the full 3D version of it.
So we'll be talking about that later today, and there is some new video Tori was talking about. There's new video to give you a kind of a different perspective.
Tammy just wrote in, Tori, what do you think about the students and the Indian protesting? Again, it went very viral. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it was a boy named Mr. Sandman. I don't know his first name, and he was wearing a MAGA hat, and it was a group of kids, and what you saw was him standing in front of a Native American chanting, and it looked like a taunting sort of crowd. There's more to the story, and we at DBL want to make sure you hear that all, so you trust us.
So we'll talk about it fully on the show today, so make sure you tune in. We've got some birthdays today. Jonathan, happy birthday, Jonathan. And then happy birthday to Ben. So we've got 2 birthdays
all my
today.
Capricorns in the house say what? What are we? We're goats. What does a goat sound like? Is that it?
I don't know. Who did it better? Who did it better? Wait, give me yours again.
So is that like a sheep? Okay, whatever. Go on, Capricorn.
But pick who you thought was the best. So another top story today we're talking about are the airports. The airports are a mess right now. There was a deep freeze over the weekend. A lot of people are waking up with below windshield temps this morning, or below -10 windshield temps this morning, which is insane. Really cold. We're not too bad here, though, in Denver. It's chilly, but it's not too bad.
My family in New England has been snowed in.
Bad.
Yeah.
So because of all that, all the snow, all the cold temperatures, the de-icing at the airports, there are at least 300 flights, at last check, canceled today. Thousands of delays today. It's a mess. Not to mention it's day 31 of the government shutdown. So we're still seeing that blue flu. The TSA workers are still calling in sick, so not only are you seeing backups at the airport because of the weather, you're also seeing it because of that. I want to show you, Leo has a video I want him to pull up. So people flying on a United flight from Newark to Hong Kong had to be diverted to a remote town in Canada, and it was because of a medical emergency. So they were diverted to Goose Town, I think it was called, in Canada, really cold, below freezing, deep freeze is what they're calling it there, and they were stuck there for 15 hours on the tarmac. In the plane.
Without heat.
Without heat. So the customs...
Hell no!
The customs, there's no customs at that airport, so they couldn't get off the plane to check into customs in Canada. So they had to sit on the tarmac for over 15 hours. People were starting to freak out. There's a lot of videos going viral of people talking from the plane. I mean, you just look at the videos. So once the medical emergency was handled, they were like, okay, time to go, let's go. And everyone's like, yay, cheering. Oh, just kidding, we have a mechanical issue. The door is broken. So that's one of the pictures you're seeing there is them trying to fix the door. Obviously, that has to do a lot with the cold, the deep freeze, not being able to de-ice it.
It looks like they're in the middle of nowhere.
They really are in the middle of nowhere. So very cold there, 15 hours. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably have some sort of panic attack, I think.
I think a lot of us are thinking about what if you have children, what if you have newborns.
No food. People were running out of food. They were hungry.
Yeah, if you're diabetic, if you have some kind of an issue.
That's why you always got to plan ahead. I'm always a planner. I always bring a bottle of water and some kind of snack in my bag.
That's because you're type A. I'm type B, and I'm like, who has something to eat?
I'd share with you, though.
I know you would. John Venturini saying the blue flu finally hit BWI Friday night. The BWI Marshall Security Checkpoint A closed over the weekend due to excessive call-outs.
And we're going to continue to see that.
Yeah, I do want to mention my good friend's father is Norman Ornstein, and Norman Ornstein is a political pundit that you guys might have seen. He works
Name's
at
familiar.
American Heritage Foundation. He's often on CNN and MSNBC, but also on, he's in a lot. He's sort of a conservative, actually.
Okay.
He tweeted out that the best way about this airport it's illegal for TSA agents to strike during this time. I found that out. So they might do that, but the blue flu is seemingly what they did. He said the most efficient thing to do is if the pilots call out and say it's too dangerous to fly.
Then there's no flying.
There's no flying. The government would reopen the next day.
I think you're
right. So what an interesting concept from a political guy that would make the government reopen. So I would love to hear your take on that as well.
Yes, please keep sending us your comments. We're going to go to our fifth host now, which is kind of tied to this. So the question today is, what are the worst things that passengers do on airplanes? So this is trending from Daily Mail today. A former flight attendant is revealing the worst things that ever happen on planes. So one of them is keeping your blinds closed. If everyone's sleeping on the plane and the sun's starting to rise, don't open your shade if everyone's still asleep.
That's a no-brainer.
That's rude.
It's rude.
That's rude.
It's no-brainer.
Yeah, give us some things that are pet peeves that you see on airplanes.
I'll give you another one, like bare feet. Oh, bare feet are a big deal. I also think, bare feet are bad.
This one is controversial because on like long flights to Japan or Tokyo or wherever, people take their shoes off. It's custom for them to take their shoes off. But here's the thing. You got to have the slippers or you got to have some socks to put on.
And especially if you're putting your feet up so everyone can kind of see above you.
You just shouldn't do that.
Now, they also mentioned sleeping in the aisles. At no point did I think this was a thing.
Me either.
But apparently that's a thing. I would think that's some kind of hazard or something.
And they do. They say it's a safety hazard.
Right. Sleeping in the aisles. I have a personal one. I'd love to hear from you guys.
I do
Always
too.
hearing people panicking, says Kyle Baxter. I get worried about my content on my iPad. Because sometimes I'm watching a show, and dare I say, there's some ST. What's some ST?
Yeah.
Sexy time.
Yeah, if you're watching like Game of Thrones, and all of a sudden they're like doing it on the screen, and then you're like, oh my god.
And there's and people are like,
I always pay attention.
Peanuts here.
What I do, I just skip that part.
Ball game from the 40s.
I just try to skip that part because not only am I embarrassed, but I don't want any kids or anyone to see it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a funny movie, and then all of a sudden a sex scene comes up, I'm like,
it's very awkward. So just be careful about
the
content on your screen as well. We want to make sure.
Here's
bringing on food that stinks over time. Tuna fish, Asian food,
egg salad,
kimchi.
Really anything nowadays smells. Even if you just bring your McDonald's on the plane, it smells.
But it smells good.
And then you get those people having the tootie booty, and it's like, ooh.
What is your pet peeve? The food?
No, my pet peeve is one of these that the flight attendant gave is people not having their boarding passes ready when they go to board the plane.
Oh, that's good.
I can't stand that.
That's good.
It's like you're at the front of the line. You gotta have a ticket to get on. Where is it?
Yeah.
You should have had it ready. You've been waiting in line for 5 minutes.
I got another one. Plane's almost empty. Not that many people.
Oh.
I sit down. Hey, is the seat taken?
Yeah. You have to pick that seat?
My dignity is in this seat. Move.
That's
Find
the
something
seat you
else.
have to pick? Oh, that drives me. Like on Southwest, you mean?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Or if I clearly have put my bag and I'm pretending, let me pretend to go through it. Don't ask to sit.
Another one. I have another one. When it's time to like get off the plane, and if you're in the window seat, which I'm usually always in the aisle. I'm not a window person.
I'm a window
Oh,
girl.
you're a window
Yeah,
person.
I'm a
so
window.
I'm an aisle. So it's time for everyone to start getting up. You've been sitting for 4 hours. Okay, the aisle person needs to start getting up. It's time.
Transition.
Like, whether it's open or not, at least get up
Make
so
the
we can
effort.
all like stand up a little bit and like get
Make
our
the
booties not
innuendo
so,
of getting
right?
up. Yep.
It drives me nuts.
This one's good. Put your mobile phone on bright so it will scan right away. But don't put it on bright because guess what? Some people have the damn flashlight on and they don't know and they're all reading and I'm like, what is that blinding
You're
lighthouse?
so right. You're so right. My mom is
yeah.
like, will not use the mobile boarding pass. She will not use the phone. She's like, I'm like, it's on your phone, Mom. She's like, no, I need the paper ticket. I'm like, but Mom, it's on your phone. No, I need the paper ticket.
Well,
I'm
people
like,
feel that way.
All right, Kat, that's
Brady
fine.
says, people flying sick next to me.
Ooh,
the coughing
that
people.
one's a tough one.
It's hard.
And I think if you are sick, you should be courteous and wear a mask. I don't think anyone will judge you for wearing a mask.
Should they be giving out masks then?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
And I think, I want to say, if you ask the flight attendant, I'm sure they have one.
Coughing, John says, coughing without covering the mouth, sneezing repeatedly without going to the bathroom.
I'm sorry, a tootie booty. That gets me upset. Like, can't you hold it in or go to the bathroom? Like,
I have one that might be controversial.
What?
Sometimes when there's kids on the plane.
You're going to get me worked up, I think.
Well, here's my question, and I'm fine with kids. I will even, and this is such a Tory move, hold the child,
Yes, of
birth
course,
the
me too,
child.
of course.
If it's a mom struggling, like I'm not like that.
Of course.
But when you do want to get your kids' energy out and you let them like run up and down the aisles,
No, that's not okay.
is that okay?
Nope. But maybe one day I'll say it is okay.
But I bring a dog on, so that's not okay for a lot
Yeah,
of
but you're not
people.
letting the dog run up
I'm
and down.
not. No, the dog is on some CBD oil and is very, very tired.
Speaking of, my sister gave Henley CBD oil for the
And?
first time, and she wouldn't get up to go on a walk because she was so
Like-
relaxed. But hey, it's going to help with her
Josie
arthritis.
stood there like
so.
this, like, what's happening?
I was like, everyone at work gives it to their dog, so I think
you
it'll
gotta
help.
have to lower the dose.
Yeah, I
maybe.
think it'll help with her anxiety. Anyway, we'll keep going. But another thing that bothers me, the feet thing really bothers me. The food thing. If your choice is gone, so if they say chicken or beef and there's no more chicken, but you wanted chicken, you just gotta go with it. You just gotta go with
You
the
mean
flow.
people who are upset about the food item?
Yes. So if there's like chicken or beef and you wanted chicken, but they get to you and there's no more chicken left, people get really upset. And that's one of the things in this trending story. She's saying you just gotta go with it.
Gotta go with it.
If you run out of chicken, there's nothing she can do about it.
There
or
is
he.
anyone getting offered chicken or steak anymore anyway.
Well, on international flights is what she was talking about.
Plains Isle is not a gymboree. I highly agree. I also
Yep.
don't like it if you're listening to. Wow, I sound like a crotchety old woman. Go ahead.
Doris, I love you, Doris. Doris says, I carry suckers in my purse just in case there are crying kids.
She's
You're
such
an
a grandma.
angel.
What a grandma.
You're so great. I love you. She's
Also, it's
always
Doris's
great.
son's birthday, I believe, if I am not a weirdo.
Yep, Jonathan.
That's
yep,
it.
Jonathan
Oh,
and Ben.
yay.
Yep.
Okay, we did the goat sound.
Oh, Ben is Doris's son. So Ben and then Jonathan
Happy
is Joseph's
birthday, guys.
son. Yeah,
Excellent.
so happy birthday to those.
I
Keep
don't
sending
like
us your
it
comments.
when you can hear your music in the person's earphones.
That really bothers
But
me.
maybe, I mean, that's kind of a hard call.
You know what
'cause
bothers
can't
me
hear it
even
too.
more? Yeah, when people
people
go
play it,
without the earphones, or they're giving their
I've
kids
never
the What?
Oh, the iPad, yeah, the iPad.
You've never had that happen?
Ding,
And it's like,
linka, what's red? Dinka, wonka, wonka, ding, ding, boom.
And I'm hearing it nonstop, and I don't want to be the Grinch. I really don't, but put some headphones on your kid.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's
a good point.
definitely. But the worst
I
is
know
when
it.
it's not even a child, and when it's an adult,
Yeah.
and they're listening to their music out loud, and I'm like, Are you a human? Do you know that that's not okay?
Burping. I have an
Oh.
issue with the burps.
Ooh,
I
I've never had
understand
that.
there's a lot of air and gas being compressed in the body, but
I've never
am I
had
getting
airplane
crotchety
burps.
enough? Burps. At least try and make a
I would much rather have a burp than smell
breathing.
that nasty
I am
tootie
having
smell.
problems with breathing.
Oh, Stephen Hill says, "Thank God it's Monday." No, but you're right, Stephen.
Oh, no. See, I thought
it's a
this
new
was
day.
happening.
70s hairstyle today, Mrs. Brady look. Let me see.
Marsha, it's time to get to class. Is it?
Yeah,
I think it's more Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
I still haven't seen that, but I,
I
think
haven't
it's
either.
a good
but
thing if
everyone's
so.
like, "Oh my God, you haven't? It's about a Jewish loudmouth that's a comic." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. It's in my head every freaking day." Then watch movies with no sexy time, says Christine Kohler Owens. I agree. What about violent movies? Is that fine?
Playboy magazines. There's some old.
Yeah. Ooh, my sister saw a guy watching adult videos one time. That's just gross. Like what? What?
Yeah.
You know,
At the airport?
I
On
also
the
want
airplane?
to. I also want to bring up today is a Blue Monday. I just wanted to run
Yes.
I think this is a really fascinating topic, and if you guys ever have any ideas, send them your way. It's just a day this particular day is pretty like very cold, usually
it's the third
dark.
Monday of the year.
You haven't maybe stuck to your resolutions.
Or you're really depressed because you watched A Star Is Born and you didn't know what was supposed to happen.
Guys, Kelly watched, was it in the morning?
So I started it on Saturday night and I finished it Sunday morning. I wish I had finished it Saturday night.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't know, it has a pretty dramatic ending. We're not going to say what it is, but it's in every rendition this happens, and I guess she didn't know. There's been 3 others.
Jason says I should have known this was coming. But I didn't know.
So many people
I didn't know, okay? I'm still upset about it. So it's fitting that today is Blue Monday because I'm feeling a little down.
So I
know it's just a movie, but it feels so real, you know? It just...
Jason Anderson says people instantly recline... the recliner!
Yes,
I haven't even sat down
that
yet.
Is such a good
and
one.
banging their seat around in front of you, especially when food or drinks. Ooh. Or a kicker, like a kid. Sometimes I'll do the international, don't do that look. Don't do that look. And then I'll kick back like I'm a 3-year-old.
I have another one.
Sorry, that got me real riled up. Thank you, Jason.
Not wearing your seatbelt. When I see the person in front of me or next to me not wearing their seatbelt, it gets me worked up because if we hit turbulence, you're landing on me if you go flying.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Why? You're okay? Because you don't wear your seatbelt?
I don't know where it is a lot. I don't know where it is a lot. I don't know.
You don't know where it is. It's not
okay.
I don't know where it is.
Sometimes it's like, ugh.
Oh my God, I could never fly
be
with
honest.
you.
Does anyone else be honest? Let's be honest. Do we keep it 100 in here?
Yes,
Does anyone else unbuckle?
No.
No, your belt.
Oh, my pants?
Yeah.
Do I unbuckle my pants or my belt?
Both.
No, I don't unbuckle the seat, but if my jeans are too tight, maybe I'll let a little...
Wearing those jeans on a
Yeah.
So anyway,
No,
sometimes I
no.
think they're my loose jeans, but sitting still hurts. So I unbuckle, but then I can't find the seatbelt and I can't let people know I've unbuckled. There's a whole buckle situation.
I don't wear
going on.
jeans on planes. Problem solved.
Okay, that's true. But then I look. My mom told me I looked absolutely homeless, and I wasn't.
My
allowed to
mom
wear
told me that one time too.
Not
So
okay.
now I just wear the cute Lululemon leggings, and then you wear some high boots or something to dress it up.
But
a bit.
yeah, I
Some
gotta be
earrings.
honest. Jason hit me. The reclining too early is
Oh my God, that gets
real
me.
pet peeve for me.
Not to mention it's a safety hazard.
Just let me get in. Sorry, that's a good one, Jace.
Can I ask you something? How do you pack your bag?
How do you guys think I pack?
Do you
my
just
bag?
throw everything in there?
No.
Do you fold it?
Yeah.
Or do you roll everything?
I roll.
I roll.
Yeah.
I roll.
I wanted to give you guys just a little hint about. I'm taking a Yale class on happiness.
If you hadn't
and
heard.
I just wanted to tell you guys. I've been taking it for 2 years now. It's only 8 weeks. They did say if you have blue days, walking in nature can cure it within 20 minutes.
What if it's cold?
Why don't you give them the upside about McDonald's and get free hamburger?
You can get a free
okay, I forgot all about this. So it's Blue Monday, and McDonald's is giving away free cheeseburgers, I believe.
So if you're sad,
If you're sad, is
if
that
you're
it?
if you're feeling
In
down,
honor of Blue Monday.
it's just in honor of Blue Monday. So Blue Monday is a thing now. And
Why am I not at a McDonald's right now?
Why are there no cheeseburgers
I don't
here?
see
Is the
that.
real question.
Radio
Tori's good.
station this morning was playing Everybody Hurts this morning.
Oh
So I was
God,
probably
this is
working.
terrible.
Oh my God! If I had heard that on the way to the work, I literally would have been crying.
John says Tori's going for that associate's degree in happiness. It will happen. It will happen. But she said nature, people who are Blue Monday, they said, let me finish.
I can't stop thinking about A Star Is Born.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
In winter, when it's cold, like Kelly said,
Yes.
we tend to get inside. She said that just a 20-minute, 10-minute walk in the woods can be as big as
Why
an
in the woods?
not in the woods, in nature with trees, can be as big as an antidepressant.
I think you're right. Okay, so Tori and
I'm
I.
taking a course.
It's her Yale course, says
For
so.
2
So,
years.
Tori and I have been getting out every day for 10 minutes at least, even if it's not sunny. It's not as fun when it's not
It's
sunny.
not as fun, but
'cause
it's
that vitamin
important.
D feels so good, but we're doing it every day for 10 minutes. So
And you
we've
know
been
what?
doing a
We're
really
doing
good
it at
job.
what time? 11?
It's when the 10:30 show is over.
Maybe you guys can join us for
Yes.
this Blue Monday at 11, whatever that is your time. This is Mountain Time.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys can take a 5-minute, even if
7-Eleven parking lot qualifies as unique.
it's not. It's nature. There's trees around the 7-Eleven.
Wait.
There's
Where's
birds.
there 7-Eleven? I don't go to the 7-Eleven.
But we do just go out to the
We just go around the
KUSA
parking lot.
That's fine. It's whatever you can do. But write us in if at 11 your time you also want to take a little break,
Yes.
get some air, and think
And
of
then
me,
send
Kelly.
us a picture of you walking outside.
That's
You don't
right.
have to walk. You can just
Have
sit
lunch
if you want,
outside.
but-
Did that on Friday. It made such a difference.
yes.
Good call. That's a great call.
Ooh, Christine has a good one about airplanes. A loud eater.
I own up to that.
Really?
I'm a loud eater.
Like how so?
Like it's bad.
I've never noticed that about you.
I feel like you're lying. It's a thing, and I have a problem, and it bothers a lot of people.
It's giving me
and-
anxiety.
Well, I do it, and I'm trying to better myself.
Remember that time on Friday?
But I
when you
don't
were-
recline.
Where you were trying to eat a cracker on air, and then
so
the camera
hungry.
came to you, and Jeff was like, "What are you doing?"
I
And
was
you were
looking to
eating
pass
a cracker.
out. I hadn't
And
eaten
then
for
you
like 10
tried to
minutes.
blame me for the cracker gate.
Well, what are you gonna do? Tuna fish will do that loud eating. I love tuna.
On a plane, though?
No, can't do it on a plane.
Ooh, Ed tuning in. Ed and Sharon, it's 5 degrees here, and I'm not walking in nature.
Okay, then here's an idea.
Good on you.
Here's an idea. Watch Planet Earth. Get nature maybe in and maybe put a fan on and oscillate it. You could also feel like you're in nature.
You could also get one of those vitamin D lights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
But I do think sunlight is a big deal.
I think so too.
Sharon, there's one in the house.
Sharon, there's one in the house.
There's one in the
Jason
house.
said.
Jason bought it for you.
Stephen Hill, it's cold today here in Chicago. 4 degrees, Blue Monday, but day off for me. That's
Lucky
fantastic.
Stephen.
Fantastic.
That's great. Okay, now
I have to get to my set from 1940s because Mrs. Maisel's being called.
she's calling. Anyway, we have a really good heart threads for you today. So take a look and have a good Monday. Hopefully it's not too blue.
We love you guys.
Don't watch A Star is Born.
The tragedy for this young man and his family was the blessing that I needed to continue on with my life. I had awakened on a Monday morning, not able to catch my breath. I was diagnosed in the next 3 days with congestive heart failure. And the progression or digression of the disease moved me down and down until there were no more options. I was to wait in the hospital for a heart, and the surgeon who did my implanted devices came in and said, "We're just not getting any hearts." I said, "Well, Dr. Mazami, I truly believe that when I absolutely need a heart, it will be shared with me." I just knew that that a heart was going to be shared with me. I don't know where that came from. I got the call on May 6th, "Gene, we think we found you a heart." And when I got the call, my wife said, "Why aren't you more happy? Why aren't you excited about this?" Because I knew somebody had to die for me to be able to get the heart, and that there was a tragedy that was playing out in someone's life so that I could continue to live. I know that Cody was a magnificent young man. Cody was getting ready to get married. He had been married this year. He had just received his driver's license. Dad had always driven because they worked at the same place, and Cody didn't feel the need for having a driver's license. So he had gotten his driver's license so his mom and dad could have that weekend to celebrate their wedding anniversary. And he drove into an intersection that he wasn't familiar, and a truck hit him. And 4 days later, I got the call that said, "Gene, we think we found you a heart." Shortly after that, I awakened, and there was somebody else's heart beating in my chest. My daughters had a birthday cake when I got home from the hospital, Dad's new birthday, May 8th, 2017. The gift of life is such a magnificent gift. They contacted me and said, "Gene, would you like to meet your donor family?" I would love to meet my donor family. Cody's mom listened to her son's heart beating, as did Cody's grandmother, Cody's brother, Cody's dad, and his fiance. The tragedy that tore at me, and I became angry about that for a while. And then I had this realization, and I had always chatted with my kids about, life isn't fair, but we can choose to be. So I started daydreaming about what I could be doing to assist in getting the folks aware of how important it is to be an organ donor. And into my brain screams, "You need to be walking to the White House." And I thought, pretty strange thought. I went home and I immediately Google mapped the Cleveland Clinic to the White House, and it was 357 miles. And it was just amazing.
April is Donate Life Month, and one man is taking that message on a trip for miles.
He's starting a journey on foot from Cleveland to Washington, D.C.
And on the way, raising awareness for organ donation.
Along the way, Gene will raise awareness with organ donor registration events.
Washington, D.C., here I come. Those of you that asked, this is what it looks like when this old, tired man goes to sleep. When I saw the White House, and I thought, oh my goodness, I've made it. You know, it was like when the Tin Man found his heart in Oz. When I met the Stebble family, I realized it wasn't just that I was so very fortunate at having this gift that I'll never be able to repay, but they were now of the understanding that Cody didn't die for nothing, that there was a true reason, a person who was alive because of Cody's gift. If we really follow our dreams, we can do anything we want. And that's what I've chosen here is in this walk. It's chosen to lead a life that my donor's family could be proud of.